Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are taking on a really specific challenge. It's lead generation for dentists. Highly competitive space, our mission. Give you a concise, high-value strategy guide, basically pulled from the latest analysis on how SEO, search engine optimization, can totally change the game for getting patients into a dental practice.
Yeah, that's essential stuff. Because the landscape has shifted, hasn't it? I mean, today, almost every single person looking for a dentist, they start online. So it's not just about being online. You got to be on that first page. You need to show up in that Google local pack. If you're not showing up there, well, you pretty much don't exist to new patients.
Okay, and before we get into the tactics, let's talk costs. Because that's always looming, right? The big immediate insight seems to be that the internet, if you do it right with SEO, is actually the cheapest way to get these really targeted leads, which is a huge contrast to, the kind of crazy prices you see for paid ads in dentistry.
Right, that cost factor is really the core of this whole strategy. Paid traffic like Google Ads, the numbers can just be eye-watering. We've seen data showing just how pricey clicks are getting, like bidding on Dental Clinic Goa, but from Google UK. The minimum cost per click, the CPC, starts at £1.94. GB £1.94.
Wow, just under £2 for one click. And who knows if that person even becomes a patient? That's just a starting bid.
That's the entry point, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to be right at the top of the page for related valuable keywords, that cost can shoot up to £6. GB £6 per click. And there's this other factor, medical tourism. People searching internationally, maybe from the UK, looking for dentists in Goa, India. That drives up competition, drives up prices for everyone. It's kind of a tough cycle if you're only relying on those paid ads.
Yeah, sounds like it could drain a practice's budget really fast. But okay, let me play devil's advocate. If a new practice needs patients now and SEO takes time, isn't just paying for Google ads better than waiting, better than nothing?
Well, it depends what you compare it to. The analysis does say a custom Google Ads setup is still way, way better, 1,000,000 times better was the phrase, than using those third-party lead sellers. So yeah, if you have to pay Google directly, control your own leads. But for the long haul, for sustainability and actual conversions, there's really no comparison. Organic traffic from search engines, especially from those longer, more specific search phrases, we call them long-tail keywords, that traffic just consistently converts at a higher rate. That's where the real long-term value and the savings come in.
Okay, savings sound good. Let's park that for a sec. First, you need somewhere for these potential patients to land. A website. What kind of site does a dentist actually need? Seems like simple and fast is better than flashy.
Absolutely. Keep it simple. We'd recommend either a basic static website or maybe using WordPress, which is super common and pretty cost-effective. The goal is efficiency. We're talking like a 5-page site plus a contact page.
Right.
That could cost less than £300, would be around 350 A's. That's assuming the dentist, provides the text and photos. And the yearly costs. Hosting, the SSL security certificate you absolutely need. Pretty low, maybe £60, about 65 euros a year.
That affordability is great, but then there's this mandatory thing you mentioned, non-negotiable. Accessibility. The analysis really hammers this home. Top sites are simple, they work on phones, tablets, desktops.
And fully accessible, yeah, to people with disabilities.
And this isn't just about being nice anymore, is it? There are real consequences.
Oh, definitely not just about being nice.
Yeah.
It's a serious legal risk now, especially in places with strict accessibility laws. Websites in the medical field, doctors, dentists, hospitals, they're increasingly getting hit with legal action if they aren't compliant.
Okay, so what does non-accessible mean in practice? Give us an example.
Often it's overly fancy, complex stuff, like maybe a custom-built appointment booking tool that doesn't work with screen readers someone visually impaired might use. Or, bad color contrast, making text hard to read, tiny fonts, or forcing people to use a mouse when they can't. Simple design usually helps accessibility naturally. It's the complex, bespoke features that often cause problems. And legal headaches.
Right, a big reason to just keep the design straightforward. Okay, so we have a simple, accessible site. Now, keywords. The fuel for the SEO engine. Trying to rank for just dentists seems like, well, throwing money away.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a waste because the intent isn't specific enough. Someone's searching just dentists, or they're researching, looking for jobs, or trying to book locally. It just doesn't bring targeted results because it targets, well, everyone, everywhere. We need conversion intent.
But wait, dentists must have huge search volume, right? Shouldn't we try to capture some of that traffic? Why ignore it completely?
It's about the conversion rate, see? Think of it like fishing. Broad keywords are like throwing a giant net out in the ocean. You catch tons of fish, sure, but most are the wrong kind. You waste a ton of effort sorting through them. Long-tail keywords, those longer specific phrases, that's like spear fishing. You target exactly the fish you actually want. Less waste, better results.
Ah, okay, good analogy. Show us how intent works. How do we separate the window shoppers from actual potential patients?
Okay, look at teeth cleaning. Huge search volume. But dig deeper. And lots of those searches are for products. People looking for special toothpaste, maybe whitening strips, stuff they can use at home. They're shopping, not necessarily booking an appointment right now, so you need to filter that. Target the intent using phrases like dental teeth cleaning appointment or maybe professional teeth cleaning service near me. That specificity, it massively boosts the chances they'll actually convert into a patient.
Which leads us straight into location, crucial for any local business, especially dentists. There's a really interesting case study from Australia that highlights that cost saving we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, the difference is pretty stark. So a dentist in Gordon, NSW, right? If they try to rank for the big term dental implants, they're facing a cost per click, CPC, of over $7 Australian dollars. $7.52. And huge competition from national players. But
Yeah.
if they target the super local keyword, dental implants Gordon, that's way more relevant to people nearby, much easier to rank for organically.
Yeah.
And the data showed the effective CPC dropped to $0, because they could get found without paying per click.
$0 per click versus over $7 just by adding the town name. That's the ROI.
Exactly. That's the power of local SEO. And speaking of location, there are these little language differences too. Your homepage keywords should definitely mix the service and the city, like dentist plus city name, but which word people use varies.
Like how people say pop versus soda, that kind of thing.
Precisely. In the UK, you see dentist and dental practice are really common search terms, high interest. But if you're operating in India, then dentist and dental clinics seem to be more popular. Knowing these little local variations helps your site speak the exact language your potential patients are using.
Okay, got the keywords nailed down. Now, site structure and building trust, what are the absolute must-have pages?
You definitely need your homepage, obviously, a Contact Us page, and this needs the full works: name, address, email, phone, and ideally an embedded map. And critically, an About Us page. This is where you establish credibility.
Right, and that credibility links to what Google calls EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. What does that actually mean for a dentist site?
Yeah, EAT is huge, especially for medical sites. Google calls them your money or your life, or YMYL topics. If the advice could impact health or finances, Google scrutinizes EAT like crazy. So the About Us page can't just be, a fluffy bio. You need to show real credentials, qualifications, experience. We strongly recommend having separate, detailed profile pages for the actual qualified dentists on staff. Prove the expertise is there.
Makes sense. Show the real expert behind the curtain. Okay, next up, service pages. If I offer, say, 10 different treatments, do I need 10 separate pages?
Generally, yes. The rule of thumb is one dedicated page per service. Now, you could group really closely related things like maybe teeth whitening and professional cleaning onto one page, but only if you have enough genuinely useful, in-depth content to make that page substantial. Feels thin, Google won't rank it well.
Content depth. Let's stick with the dental implant Gordon NSW example. The analysis really stressed writing for the patient, not another dentist. What does that involve?
It means empathy, basically. And clarity. Use simple language. Remember, someone searching for implants might be nervous, maybe a bit self-conscious, definitely worried about the procedure, the cost, the pain. The content needs to meet them where they are and address those concerns head-on.
And to tackle those patient anxieties, what specific things absolutely have to be covered on a good service page like that?
Right. Looking at high-performing pages, we found about 9 key subtopics you need to cover. What implants actually are, the step-by-step process, the different types, who's a good candidate, the risks and potential complications, also aftercare and recovery, the costs involved, materials used, and maybe options like same-day implants, all on 4.
That's really thorough. Let's pull out a couple of those. Why is talking openly about risks and complications and costs so important for trust in EAT?
Because hiding things makes you look untrustworthy. Transparency builds trust. If you only talk about the benefits, it just sounds like a sales pitch. But clearly, explaining potential risks written by an expert shows you're authoritative and ethical. Big EAT boost. And discussing costs, even if it's just a price range, it calms patient nerves and means the people who do contact you are much more qualified leads. They know roughly what to expect.
That's brilliant insight. It's psychology meeting content strategy. Okay, quick technical points for these pages.
Yeah.
Basic SEO must-dos.
Keep the URLs simple and readable, like For implants, just yourdomain.com/dental-implants. Obviously, HTTPS SSL security is mandatory. You need a clear site structure so people in Google can navigate easily. And crucially, tell Google not to index thin content pages that WordPress sometimes creates automatically, like category or tag archive pages. Use Noindex for those.
Wait, why hide pages from Google? What counts as thin content here?
Think of category pages like blog or tag pages like root canals. They usually just list headlines and maybe short snippets. They don't offer unique, deep value themselves. We want Google to focus its attention, its crawl budget, on your really valuable service pages and articles, not these automatically generated index pages. Indexing lots of thin pages can actually dilute the perceived authority of your main important content.
Ah, okay. Quality over quantity for Google's index. Makes sense. Let's wrap this up with the single most powerful tool for local visibility, Google Business Profile.
Absolutely non-negotiable for local businesses. Setting up your Google Business Profile, or GBP, properly is what gets you into Google Maps results. And crucially, it gets you into that local pack, the box, showing usually 3 businesses right at the top of local search results, above the normal organic listings, prime real estate.
And getting the categories right in GBP is key, isn't it? What should dentists focus on?
Yes, category selection is vital. You need to list all relevant categories to maximize your chances of showing up. The data shows the most common primary category used successfully is dentist. That accounts for about 21% of top listings, followed closely by dental clinic at around 18.4%. You need to pick the one that fits best as your main category.
And what about practices that offer specialized services?
Definitely add those too. If you do cosmetic work, list cosmetic dentist, offer emergency care, add emergency dental service, do whitening, add teeth whitening service. If you offer it, make sure it's listed as a category in your GBP. That helps you appear for those very specific high-intent local searches.
Okay, this has been incredibly strategic. So for you listening, the path to getting those targeted dental leads seems clear. Focus on affordable, long-term organic SEO over costly paid ads. Make sure your website is simple, fast, and critically accessible to avoid those legal risks. Be ruthless about targeting keywords with local, specific intent. Remember that $0 CPC model. And build out comprehensive service pages that speak directly to patient concerns. Addressing anxiety, risk, and cost builds immense trust.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. While all this marketing strategy, the SEO, guides the structure, what pages to build, what keywords to target, the actual success, especially of those service pages, hinges on marrying that strategy with genuine clinical expertise. The analysis really highlighted that it needs a dentist, someone well in that particular subject, to at least inform or ideally write the core content brief. So great dental SEO isn't just technical fiddling or generic writing. It's about packaging real clinical authority in a way that connects with and reassures potential patients.
That perfect blend of deep clinical knowledge and smart, empathetic marketing, that's what turns clicks into long-term patients. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into dental SEO strategy.